Record.
Again, if we were just good at this. Hey, everybody, it's MVP Office Hours. I'm Squire Kirshner. I'm joined with by a lot of my favorite people, but my co-host, Joy Shutters Helbing. Say hi, Joy.
Hi, Joy. Oh, that's me.
Uh,
Hi.
it is August 21st, and we are going to zip through this because we've got a great crew, and I'm hoping a laundry list of things that we can discuss. Just as a reminder, we meet on the first and third Friday of every month, barring Dreamforce, national holidays, if one of us is tired or sick, but more or less first and third. You can find Joy and I on LinkedIn. We're happy to respond there. Our links are there. The email address is your last resort. Use the success community if you want to get in touch with us. All of our hashtags are there. Upcoming, we're going to be meeting on the 4th, right before Labor Day. That's going to be great. The following meeting would be the 18th at the end of Dreamforce. We will not be having a meeting that day. I'm still working to try to figure out if we can pull together some sort of meetup or something at Dreamforce. I'm not sure what the attendance will be, but we'll keep you posted. And then we'll be back on track the first the first
Friday.
Friday of October, October 2nd. You're already here, so you know to register at bit.ly/MVP office hours. And the recordings and video and shenanigans are all on YouTube for the eternity of our show. So here we are. Let's go to the next one. Remember, the success community is your friend. The QR is there. Feel free to use that to post any questions, comments, concerns, whatever. We and everyone on the call tends to join there and engage there. That's your best friend. While you're here, however, make sure that you share everything you know, everything you've learned, every question you have. We're only as good as the group of us here. So post links and answers and raise your hand and ask your questions, whatever. We're all here to help each other. But as you noticed when we kicked off, we are recording. And that means please don't share anything that's private or proprietary. I'm not a good enough video editor to try to extract that. We don't want anyone getting into trouble. We prefer to our call to not be transcribed by an AI tool. If it kicked off when you came in, you may have seen that it got turned off or we asked you to turn it off. This is for us. We don't want anything in perpetuity that other than the video recording. And most importantly, we want to have fun, but we're going to stay positive and professional. As frustrating as a day with a user or the platform might be, let's keep it above the line and bring a friend next time you come because, again, we're only as good as the group.
Did you want
And
to go to the next slide?
yeah, that'd be great. Um, Just a reminder, the salesforce.com/events site is where all of the most important stuff, both in the Salesforce ecosystem as well as the community, is happening. Dreamforce is obviously right around the corner. TDX is in March. A couple other items that have not been updated as far as dates. World Tours, I'm sure, will be populating back through, but Dreamforce is only, what, 3 weeks out now? And so we're hoping to
Yeah.
see lots of you there. If you see us, please come up and say hi. We love meeting you all in person. The postage stamps are not a great way to get to know everybody. So
Yeah, and context helps. Please, context helps because
also,
the no
yes,
the number of times someone taps me on the shoulder like Joy, and I'm like, yes, that's me.
great to see you. Yeah.
Please tell me how I know you. Please, 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 please. Because somehow like we don't necessarily represent the image that we use on our screenshots because I know that the photo I have on everything is like I don't know at least 2 years old. Anyway, so next slide.
Please. This hasn't changed from our last call. We're in kind of a lull around Dreamforce. That's normally how it works. But coming up, we've got Dreaming in Color, SoCal, and Mile High in August. True Blue and Seoul Dreamin' in October, along with North Africa and Northeast Dreamin'. Um, it starts to pick up. I just a side note, the community conferences as a whole have struggled in the last year.
Mm.
It's an awesome way to engage your local user groups, local admins, friends, coworkers. However, try to be a part of those local events whenever you can. It really helps reunify the community. I think we're still rebuilding, and some of these
Yeah,
been around for a long time, and they're really beneficial to the community. So,
for sure, for sure.
yep,
And your community groups. Did we talk about community groups?
I I, I assume not. I think I missed
Okay.
it. So,
Okay,
all
that's
right.
all right. All right.
And we've got an
So,
open slate. Oh, the Hall of Fame. We haven't talked about the Hall of
do
Fame
you
in a
want to do
while.
that? Oh wow, it's
It's
hold on.
okay. Just
Are you sure?
it
Okay.
used to be such a fun, used to be such a fun part of our day, all of our little quick links. So anyway, we need a better way to put it somewhere else to put it, so you don't have to go find a slide deck to find a link to find a reason why you're anyway. But we don't have anything on the agenda, so we're hoping everyone came with questions, concerns. What the floor is open. So
I mean,
also Stacy, I
I
love your
have, yeah,
t-shirts.
I have things to talk about, but I mean, I'd rather hear what everyone has to say first. That's the
We
best
have
thing.
a question from Monique.
All
Oh,
right.
Thanks.
oh,
Monique, you have
you're
something
in
you have real work?
the middle
Bring
of
it.
a sentence. Are you finished or no?
Oh, I'm finished. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So today I got an email saying in the sandbox the certificate in key management is like coming to expire. In the past, someone told me I just changed the expiration date and then that's it. Is that basically it, or do I need to upload something?
There's a lot there. Oh, Aaron came off. Aaron, why don't you start?
I can start. So this is a certificate just in your sandbox. It's a self-signed certificate. You didn't buy one.
Correct. It's a self-signed certificate. Yeah.
Then you'll just need to regenerate it.
Okay.
Um,
Cool.
But also that certificate is probably hooked up to the identity provider if it's the only one that's there. So you should also disable the identity provider so that you can actually remove that certificate.
if you have SSO.
No, it doesn't matter about SSO. By default, that's turned on in
Oh, right, it does
sandboxes.
get connected through. It just doesn't do much.
Because I
Yeah,
I see one in production. It's been expired since 2023, but not sure why. Yeah.
Yeah,
wasn't
well, that's a
taken care
different
of.
problem, but also it could be tied to how you've got your single sign-on set up. They've
Hmm.
recently changed some stuff where it can be living off platform, so maybe they fix it in your infrastructure.
Okay. This is a new org for me, so yeah, still investigating this org.
Yeah, the times you have to be super careful with them are if you have SSO set up and it's connected to your SSO, and if it's a purchased certificate where a third party is providing it. Those are the two scenarios where it really matters. Most of the time, it doesn't actually matter. It's just a good piece of due diligence to keep it fresh.
Okay. Good to know. Thank you so much.
Do we have a link to the help article? I think I have one
We
for
could
you.
find one.
Yep, I think I have
I'll
one.
also offer, we just were dealing with a login issue, SSO issues, and one of my engineers spent a lot of time talking to Claude about certs and certificates and refreshes, and it was really, really helpful. Maybe better than the documentation on Salesforce. So if you have access to those tools, use them for this sort of thing. They can really.
Okay, I'm sorry. That link doesn't go anywhere. It goes to a dead end. That's
Oh, cool.
thanks, Google.
Yeah,
Thanks.
saw that. Thanks.
I will get you a link in a moment. It's hysterical. It's
Thank
great.
you.
I found a better one. Maybe. All right. So, does anyone else have any advice or thoughts on the self, the things, guys? You
I mean,
guys.
I think it's,
I have a second one if that's okay.
Yeah,
yeah, please.
absolutely. Bring it.
Today someone asked for write access for MCP. I'm obviously I want to say no, but I think I'm trying to investigate why he wants it. And he's saying on the opportunity he said we do a lot of Slack messages, emails, and other things off Salesforce, and they want to update a few fields and saying like their next steps because they have those custom fields. But I was thinking, yeah, if you're already in Slack, maybe I can make some sort of workflow instead, or they can have a list view and then they can update. So I did get Sales Cloud for Slack today. So I'm thinking that might be a better option because I just don't feel comfortable with these MCPs all over the place because they have a tendency that's what they want for everything.
I mean, I think this is a really good opportunity to talk about the well-architected framework. rather than make a stance or make a like a we don't want MCPs or we do want like think more about if we can do this with Salesforce leverage tooling versus building our own, even if we are just configuring an MCP to an external AI, like Salesforce, Slackbot, Canvas, all the things that come along with the package helps to sustain, maintain the posture that you have where a Salesforce org using Salesforce tools. That's a really good way to start that conversation. And then it changes the perspective, I think, sometimes to say, like maybe they don't want to think all things MCP. I don't want to put words in your mouth, I apologize, but more along the line of like we have tools that are more relevant to our platform versus building something and then having to worry about maintenance, access, authorizations, credibility. The trust layer is not going to be a concern because of NCP for the most part, but just
Consumption costs.
I'm sorry?
Consumption
Consumption.
costs.
Absolutely. There's another great example. So
That
like
that
finding ways to put it in the here's why we should use something versus why we shouldn't use something usually helps with those conversations. And then you start to have standards that people can rely on to say, oh, we've made these decisions in the past.
Right. I'd also, I ran into a similar question adjacent to me. And there was a couple of things. It was making sure that they were not using a personal connection, but it was a company connection. Because the initial was, oh, well, I have this thing, I can just connect it in. And I was like, no, 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 no. You have to use the company version of the thing. You can't use your personal version of the thing. So make sure you've got, I guess,
We
security
have that.
security clearance on that, and everything's on the up and up.
Yeah, we have that. They have their own Claude and that, but it's just the person prior to they relied a lot on Claude and built like custom objects and things that were already there. Like and instead of case, they made tickets. So just things like that. Trying to explain you don't have to do that, and
Yeah.
that if somebody already is certified and they know, hey, we already have cases, you don't need to make tickets as your object. So that's why I feel like sometimes Claude is nice to answer your question, but it can be skewed, of course.
Sure.
I
Well,
have
I
a
think-
question. I have a question. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to add on that I think there's a lot of places right now, and it's why I tend to raise the consumption cost issue, is that a lot of people are answering questions with AI, let's just use AI for it, that have perfectly good, deterministic, low cost, already built into your licensing answers that we're reinventing wheels with a more expensive and less reliable tool. I mean, LLMs are not designed to give you the same answer every time. They're designed around a random number generator. So they will give you a different answer.
Mhm.
If you want consistency, you need good old-fashioned boring computing. And for things like updating a field in Salesforce, there's no reason to pay for the extra cost to get an answer that might be right 98% of the time and screw up 2% of the time when you could have it 100% perfect for the price you're already paying.
True.
I would also add, if this user has previously leaned on AI to build things in Salesforce that maybe they need to create, user stories before they start creating objects to justify what they need because of the standard objects doing some of the heavy lifting. The number of companies that I've been through that have recreated cases or recreated opportunities, is not great. And I think we talk about this recently, Squire, about someone fighting with the MSA because they recreated opportunities somehow because they didn't have Sales Cloud. Oh, that was you, Squire. Sorry.
Yes.
Whoa.
But this is the thing, like there is a time and a place to have a light object, or something small that does a thing specifically, but yeah, I really think that before AI starts building in your orgs, it needs to go through the humans very deeply. And the user stories really need to talk about the problem, not about the solution.
Yes.
I would modify that to say vetted humans, Because if the human's just going to turn around and go to an AI tool and get the wrong answer to respond, which I've definitely seen.
But that's just the thing, right? It's like it has to go through the humans, and it can't just like circumvent the humans through AI like you're talking about, Ian. I'm talking about it has to go through the humans. The humans have to like put their stamp of approval on this and say, I believe this is the way that we should move forward, and they have to justify it. And that's where you have like change advisory boards, and you've got design reviews, and you've got all this stuff going on. So you don't end up with a ticket object on top of an existing case object. And that's just the example that you had shared, Monique. And so I'm not picking on you. It happens a lot.
Definitely. Yeah. Yeah.
And I just to add one other thing too, we've started to request chat logs from when people say, "Hey, I asked AI and this is what I got." Because going
Show
back
me what
to
you asked AI.
right, because we had a long conversation about that. Like, if you just said, "Hey, I asked a guy and he said to do this," there's no credibility there. But somehow I asked AI and there's credibility. And so, like going back to like Monique's example, I was like, if your question were, "What's the best or the recommended or the way to build this, leveraging the best patterns?" Like that question gives you more governance than I don't want to use case. What should I use? AI is going to come up with something, right? So, that's a great way to like not stop AI as a tool, but challenge the way it's being used, and it also helps your users start to be better prompt builders too, for that matter. So,
We
Prompt
hope.
building.
We hope. Thank you.
Prompt building. Yay. You got
all right,
this. Monique,
off
that
my
was solid.
soapbox.
Thank you. What do you mean off your soapbox? It was great.
You,
It was
you know me.
great. Oh yeah, I do.
Christy had a question. Do we want to jump over to that?
Oh, what's your question, Christy?
And Aaron might know this, but when you're talking about the cost, and so I had a conversation with someone this morning, and the conversation was, towards AI, and he's like, "Hey, we got, sales unlimited usage," and I was like, "Oh," and then he was talking about the tokenization and the flex credits and the cost, and I go, "Didn't you get unlimited, right? Because doesn't that word seem to indicate unlimited?" But then he's like, "No, when it's a human prompt it is, but if it's automated between, then it's not. Then you have flex credits and data 360 credits." And I thought, I just want to understand how it's priced.
I don't understand how it's priced. I don't think anybody understands how it's priced, including like having just gone through my renewal with my AE, and we've got a little bit of some of the of Data Cloud turned on because we have Marketing Cloud growth. It was pretty clear that we were working with 4 separate teams at Salesforce just to get our renewals done, and because we had language that Salesforce's lawyers had written in our service agreement that they didn't know how to honor. We had 4 different Salesforce teams trying to figure out how to do our renewal because none of them knew how the pricing worked.
Hmm.
And that was just a renewal. That was just trying to not take away our credits.
It's like medical insurance. Okay.
It was,
Yes.
I mean, they figured it out. We got there. We got our renewal done. We got everything calculated, but it did take an extra month because nobody was quite sure how to handle the public sector language for the fact that we get to roll the value of our credits forward, not the
Very cool.
credits. We got the money could roll forward, so they gave it back to us and then recharged us
At a new rate.
at a new rate.
Okay.
At
So
this year, so we got credited back at last year's rate and charged again at this year's rate.
only if it's lower, does that make sense? Otherwise, that's messed up.
No, it was so it was we had a slight price increase on the credits, and so
All right. So Universal out there, if Salesforce Ben is listening on this call, we all need an article somewhere where somebody understands.
I would say my take on the unlimited is it kind of gives you unlimited ability to buy your way out of almost every limit except for the really deep, hard to move platform limits. But it's not that's what's unlimited about it. It's not overly generous. It just makes it easier to buy your way out of certain limits in the system. And raises all the caps on things, but there's still caps.
Man.
Not unlimited data storage, it's just a whole lot more.
Yeah. When my husband was on the football team in high school and they had the all you can eat shrimp bar at Sizzler, he and his offensive lineman did get kicked out
The randomness, Christy. Thank you.
Love that.
Thank
Well,
you.
And I just had a conversation with my kid that it all goes back to Simpsons. There's a Simpsons where he sues because he did not have all he could eat. So
Is there a,
Oh.
is there so there's unlimited edition? Is there an agent product that has unlimited in its name that's different, separate?
I think I thought it was the sales agent for sales unlimited. Like that's what they had. And I haven't used it personally, but
That I think is what we commonly refer to as UE as opposed to Enterprise Edition.
no, it was an Agent Force thing for
Yeah.
unlimited.
Agent Force SKU. Okay.
yeah, it's specific to the token and the wallet and the like not the org itself, but this because it's an add-on, right?
So I put that into Google because I like to find the things I want to do. And I was presented with my friend Liz. This is hysterical, in a form. So you guys, this is craziness. This is craziness. It's okay. They're like, fill out this form. Here, we'll give you what you want. Fill out the form. And there's my friend Liz right here.
Hey.
Yeah. So you can fill out the form for more information. You guys. Ay. I'm not on the pricing side of the agent stuff right now, so that's good for everybody. So did we answer your question, Christy? I don't know.
Yeah, nobody knows. There's the answer.
Oh,
Thank you.
There's the answer. So
I do know that you're going to spend a lot of time monitoring it, even if you do know, because it'll change as soon as you think you get it. So
yeah.
Mhm.
Christy, you said something about having someone find an article or get some information on it. I'm going to encourage you to submit that question to True to the Core at Dreamforce. And if you're not there, you can submit it through Salesforce Plus.
Okay, I'll have to submit it through Salesforce Plus because I'm not going to be there. So.
Does anybody have like a neighborhood thing of when you're going to Salesforce where to stay? Because I heard like there was a place called Lamb Chop or it's
Tenderloin?
scary.
Don't-
Yeah, Tenderloin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Don't stay there.
Okay.
I remember being in the Tenderloin in like 30 years ago, and it was scary even back then.
Yeah.
So yeah, no.
Hey, Monique, you're coming to Salesforce or the Dreamforce, right?
Oh no, next year. I just know that I had a Dutch colleague and he was like a little bit like freaked out, and I was like, sorry.
Well, I stayed last year at the Campton, which was about 6 blocks up the hill. But what I did was I might walk down and then took an Uber back. But I was still going to be Ubering from somewhere because my little group, we'd go to dinner or something, But I did walk back one day and that's like, enough of this.
No. Like broad daylight, you're pretty much okay, but you get past dark and maybe you're not feeling quite as confident.
Yeah. So I stayed at the Campton, which I thought was a really nice hotel. Also, always ask for 2 beds, not the 1 bed place, because then when your friends or somebody that are on a lower budget, they want to stay, they can stay with you.
Nice.
Um,
I thought you were just having a big party, Pat.
I mean, the other thing, Monique, is that
Yeah.
Salesforce does a really good job of making sure that everyone has access to resources so that you're safe, so you feel safe. Like on the badge, I think there's a phone number and a couple other things to keep in mind while you're in San Francisco. So when you make it next year, we'll be excited to see you, and then tell your colleague that just keep an eye on people with badges.
Okay, cool.
They're part of your group for the week.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Let's see. What else do we have going on? We talked about a couple other things, Squire.
Yep. I'm skimming back
Um,
through. We have lots of good commentary, but everything's going so well that no one has any questions for the week.
It's a load of garbage. You guys are all
What?
fibbing. I
Yeah.
don't believe it. I don't believe it.
One
I don't believe it.
that's not Salesforcey.
Oh, can we help with that?
Maybe.
Okay.
I got kicked off of Claude.
I do remember this.
So, And I think I made like 13 requests on Claude. You guys know I'm not techie enough to like know how to do some subterfuge or anything. So I am looking to sign up again, and I'm wondering if Claude would know that this other email address is the same, is connected to me.
Oh,
I think I would use a different name. I would use a different
right.
name.
But I think the question is like, how deep is it
There are
looking?
several Pat Harrises in the world, I'm sure. So
Yeah.
I don't think it
Mhm.
first last is a problem either.
I can use my middle name, which I never use on anything.
Yeah.
Or you can just add extra S on your last name. I don't know.
That's a good.
Yeah.
patharris.claude@domain.com.
Well, I do have my own email address for like a business like that I own.
Sure,
So,
sure.
but I don't
use-
want to get that linked off.
Well, that's the thing. I don't know how to help you here because I don't know why you got bounced.
I don't either because I took the user guidelines from Claude and
Right.
all my data that I downloaded from Claude, put it in the Chat GPT, put them in the files, had Chat GPT compare, and it's like there might be a 1% chance that you did something wrong. I asked some financial question, and that might have been the only thing they flagged when I did that comparison. So
That is crazy. And there's you can't even ask Claude anymore why you got kicked. Like you're just blocked completely.
yeah, I appealed, and then they came back. Well, we're not going to tell you, and you'll suspended forever. I'm like,
wow.
I mean, come on, you guys know. I mean, I do not delve into
I would
this.
say now I want to know what questions you asked.
Yeah, right.
I'd like
Me
the
too.
chat log. I'd like the chat log to see what you asked.
I can give it to you.
No, I'm not gonna do.
The first line is back away. Tell me everything you know about everything. And Claude's like,
I'm not even sharp enough to even ask that question.
Oh, you guys. Oh
But,
my goodness.
So I have about 6 other email addresses or Gmail addresses that I could use.
Yeah.
So,
oh my
but
goodness.
it's when you pay with the credit card.
oh, right.
Maybe I should just get one of those cash cards.
A rush card.
A Visa cash card.
Yeah, the gift card thing.
Yeah. They sell it at CVS. You can get it.
So my quick Google search of this, because my brain doesn't work as well as I'd like it to, but it says avoid creating duplicate accounts immediately with the same payment details or IP address can result in a secondary ban.
Well, how do I get a different IP address?
Use a VPN.
Watch out for that VPN because I used a VPN. I got locked out of Salesforce. So,
well,
that's true. I don't know.
Ooh, get a separate computer and do it off of your cell phone.
I don't know, Pat.
Do you really need Claude? You could use other Perplexity, Gemini.
I know, but most stuff out there for tutorials and all that stuff is based off of Claude. And as I said, you guys know I'm not that sharp to. I mean,
use a family. You have to use family member to log in.
Pat, do not dim your light. Do not.
But I have 9,000 more interests than Salesforce, so I am not like some people. I don't put 20 hours into this every day, So I mean, I got my Volkswagen, I got rides in my Mini Cooper, I got my kitchen remodel project, I got 9 million other things to do. So
I mean, Salesforce is just 1 week of the year, right? It's just
pretty much
like the Army Reserves. 1 weekend. Well,
1 weekend a month. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Well,
we're gonna have to brainstorm on this one a little bit because this is outside of my wheelhouse.
I think the
Um,
easiest thing might be to try to find a different IP address, maybe.
maybe
Maybe.
I don't
I mean,
know the
depending
answer
on
on
what kind of service you have, sometimes when you reboot the routers, it'll sometimes rotate. It depends on your provider.
That's a good idea.
Or the next time really more reliably, like the next time you're out of town for a couple of days, turn it off when you leave. So it's got several days for them to reissue it to somebody else and issue you a new one when you come home. That's more likely to get you a rotation than just turning it off and turning it back on. But
Well, my
did you
power
turn it off
went
and
out
turn
a
back
few
on?
days ago. My power went out about about last Friday maybe, and so my router had to reboot itself. So
Mhm.
yeah. Okay.
yeah, they don't rotate them a whole lot, but if it's off for a few days, they may issue it to somebody else.
But that's a good idea, Aaron. Thanks. See? You never know. Who knows what
Yeah,
in this
just
group.
get a kernel, a little nugget of knowledge to move you on your way. That's great. Allison, you had a question.
Hi. So my good news, by the way, is if you didn't see, we revamped the website. So I am back open for business with the donuts. Thank
Good deal,
goodness.
good deal. Not the
Yep.
bakery, the data.
The bakery is open.
That's
Next
okay.
to there. So my question is, I was talking with a possible new client, and they have the original version of NPC. So my question is, if I'm learning AFNP, how big of a difference is the original nonprofit cloud from the current AFNP?
When you say the original nonprofit cloud, do you mean NPSP as in a
No,
managed package?
no, as an NPC, as the original, like when it was first released, when NPC was first released.
Not that much different.
Okay. Really? Okay.
Full,
Yeah, 'cause
full
it's
of
just-
more bugs that
Oh,
some
yay.
of which they fixed.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. Okay.
But a
So
lot
if
of
I'm
that should just be getting updated. What you won't have is some of the pre-configured stuff that now is pre-configured won't have been configured, but
okay.
Well,
the
and you'll
template flows
probably
have
have
improved.
things that were pushed in as templates that were then cloned and activated, but the new template has been pushed but not cloned and activated.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that makes sense. Okay.
But all the underlying pieces of it are updated as part of the regular update cycle.
Okay.
So it's those flow templates, email templates, that
Okay.
kind of stuff that, yeah, it'll be built off of old versions, most likely, or not off of them at all because they didn't work then. And newer versions might have saved the setup time, but
Gotcha. Okay. I'm still laughing at Joy's face when I asked that question. She's like, "Oh my gosh, no!"
Did I glitch? Did you see that?
No, I just saw you like panic, like, "No!"
I'm like, who's got the answer? Not me. Not me.
Thank you, Aaron and Michael.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
So,
So everyone else is like everything's going smoothly. It's happy Friday. You got nothing more. Oh yeah, Michael.
No. I have a quick question. Why is headless called headless, not
So that we can make the headless horseman jokes. That's why.
UI-less or frontless or something?
Because if we called it topless, it would be inappropriate.
Fair.
That's why.
No,
That's why.
I'm serious. Like
Question.
like the
Why not-
metaverse, the
why not
metaverse was
hatless?
feetless because you
why
didn't
not
have
hatless?
your didn't have feet, but
Because they haven't renamed it yet.
well, fair.
I mean, the web development world.
Headlesssalesforceslack.com.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I saw the post about like Mark asking if we should rename it to Salesforce Slack or whatever.
Just stop with the jokes, like the naming. Like, oh my goodness. I'm so
Was that unjust? I don't know.
no, that was an article in Salesforce Ben. He wrote an article about if it's going to become Salesforce Slack.
Oh.
But But to answer that, I believe, Michael, I don't think the term headless is a Salesforce thing. They just inherited that because that is what that capability is.
But why?
Surfaceless or
That's why I'm
surface
asking. Why?
agnostic.
Well, so it's considered like in the architecture, the head is effectively like the UI, the interface, the interaction point, versus the body being the back end. So if you're headless, you're engaging with a system without a front end. And so now you're basically saying the headless connection is you can put it anywhere, anything other than like you can interact with Salesforce without interacting with Salesforce. So it's headless. You can have headless anything, quite honestly. So it's really just like I think it's old school nomenclature for the difference between the front end UI and the like the processing back end.
Did you guys ever play with the game Cootie as a kid?
Yes.
Okay,
No.
just
Oh my God, us old kids.
Just put a different head on. It's fine. It's fine. It's just let the body run around. It's fine.
Just curious from Michael. He had a question about he couldn't see something in setup. Remember you were updating a profile or permission set and you put in something you couldn't see and we were trying to look if you had a different browser or something like that.
Oh yeah. So for those who, I mean, I'll refresh your memory. Yes. So in one of my client orgs, if you go into the profile or permission set editor and you, in the quick bind, start typing the name of an object, let's say account, nothing, it never finds anything. But if you click, 3 clicks down, object settings, and then you can select accounts or select it from the drop down and that it's there. I did raise a support case and they told me it was because the org had more than 500 objects, which they don't. I mean, they have more custom objects than they probably should, but they don't have that many more custom objects than they should. And they actually gave me, I can't even remember now because it's a couple months already. They gave me like go to this to check your number of custom objects, and it didn't even give the answer that they said it gave. And I was like, thanks, Agentforce. But nonetheless, I have a client org where that doesn't work. I have another one with more objects where it does work. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We experienced it the same right after you and I, or not you and I, after we talked about that, I was starting to get reports from my engineers that they were seeing something similar. And it hasn't gone away, right?
no,
Like
it
it's
has not
yeah.
gone. I haven't checked like in the last couple of weeks, but yeah, it has not gone away.
The other thing that we were going to start digging into, but we were like, it's probably just not worth it. We were trying to think if there was something about an API name that maybe was causing the global search to hiccup. But it was such a needle in a haystack where I was like, maybe, but we're not gonna worry about it. By the way, we then enabled foundations and started using Agentforce setup, and that has been great to work around that. And it's almost free. So almost.
What does almost free mean, Squire?
Well, you have to monitor usage. So like Foundations gives you a queue. You get like a free Data Cloud, you get a free Agentforce, you get a free couple other things. I also don't know where you can turn it on, so I might be leading you down the path, but we're not generating any cost from our setup use right now, while we're still within the constraints of the Foundations like SKU. It has some limits. So, but here or there, Agentforce setup has helped us in that space quite a bit. If it's on your roadmap, another reason to maybe think about it. I know that's not great for the nonprofit space, but it's an option.
My understanding was it's supposed to it was consuming data credits when it spins itself up and gets organized, but it doesn't consume flex credits on query.
Yep, and even the data when you're only using it for setup, we're not seeing any. Cost to the point where we've identified it. I mean, maybe at the end of the year we're going to be like, oh, here's $100. We're hoping, but again, until you like, it cost you $1 million to use it. Like we don't really know, but when we're watching the wallet, we're not seeing any cost generation.
So tried to set up DevOps Center, just for fun to see what would happen.
It's awesome. Yep. Tell me more.
I had to turn it off because it locked me out of Salesforce.
Yep. I
And
would
I
love
hadn't
to tell you
even
all
finished.
about that.
I hadn't even finished or done anything. Just assigned the permission sets and started looking at it. And then I was like, okay, let me do something else. And then, yeah, I got locked out.
Yep. So, so a little background there. I'm not sure if you did any discovery other than just turn it quickly off. So, Next Gen DevOps 1 is great. I highly recommend it when there's not a bug. With the the July patches, something got added that was causing the login workflow for anyone with the Next Gen DevOps permission sets. It couldn't complete the SSO path. It was not sending it a SAML response. So SSO was blocked. And actually, if you had a username and password login, like we have a system admin user for our backdoor, it had the permission set as well. You couldn't even get in that way. It's a known bug. They're doing a staged rollout to fix that, but we had been using it for 6 weeks prior to the bug last week, and it's a great platform when there's not this bug. They're aware of it. They're working on it. I'll find the link and put it in here. But so
yeah, support
don't give up on it. But
yeah, support told me they were having they were gonna have the patch, but I just turned it off to wait until I'm safe because I'm the only one. I have another admin, but we're on different time zones. So I was like, oh, this is not good, if I'm working.
Yep. 100%. It brought down our entire org. We had like 13 business units that were dead in the water here. And it was intermittent too, which was also kind of fun. Like you could log in 10 times with a failure and then you might get in. And once you were in, if you didn't time out, you stayed in. It was very, very weird. Lots of weird GAC errors, lots of weird SAML logs. It was a fun week for Squire and his team, let's be sure.
We have different definitions of fun, sir.
Yeah.
No.
It could have been the lack of oxygen for me screaming, also, on that same note, just if anyone's experiencing anything right now, there's also a known bug that they're working through with just-in-time provisioning. I'm not sure if everyone is aware of that feature, but if you're using single sign-on through your identity provider, you can have a new user who logs into Salesforce, have a user created at the time of login if there's a license available and they've got access through your identity provider. Very cool. Saves a ton of time. Except apparently there's a bug in the case sensitivity feature of the Federation ID, which is what keeps things locked together. And it can also prevent that flow from working. And so if you're getting any issues where people should be able to log in, it can't, and you're using just in time, you might have to turn it off until the bug gets resolved. And I can link that too. So yeah,
Thank you. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I will come back to it. It just,
Yep.
Yeah, it just had me a little bit nervous. That's all.
Yeah, totally. And I'm a huge proponent of it because after years of trying to be convinced to pay for AutoRabbit or Compado or lots of other gear set, lots of good tools, not a ding against them, for Salesforce to come along and bring a Salesforce a DevOps tool that's built in was a great add for us. And I'm really liking a lot of the bells and whistles that come with Next Gen, including like test suites and Dota metrics and lots of cool stuff there. This little hiccup we've got right now is just hiccup. But yeah, highly recommend it. So I'll stop. I see 2 hands up.
Jonathan is up next.
Hi, Joe. Hi, Joy. Sorry. Hi, Joy. Hi, Square.
Hey there.
So this is my first time here in MVP office hours.
We're glad you're here.
Yeah, I just connected with, I just followed, I think so. I had a LinkedIn request for you, Joy, if you can accept my request. So I just followed you, and that's how I came to know about MVP of office hours. And then initially I thought it's only for MVPs to talk over, but I just went through few of the recordings on YouTube, and then I thought like I can join, which is good thing, so that I can connect with all of you experts. Uh, So I have one question. So I'm working as a Salesforce consultant. So I have a request like when we create screen flows, if the user closes the model in between the screen flow transaction, how can we make sure like we whatever the records that were created till that time, how do we delete those if he closes the modal in between the transaction? So by the time he navigated few of the screens which might have created the records in the background, uh, once he closes the modal, how do we do that? How can we ensure like those orphaned records deleted?
Squire's ready.
I think everybody's dealt with this as I've been doing this for a while. So first of all, a closed interview is like the bane of every admin's existence, I think, right? Isn't that a fair statement? And I think there's maybe the first, you know what? I'm just going to say there's lots of ways to solve it. Who else other than Squire wants to talk for once?
Oh, you guys are being shy.
Yeah, I know Michael's done 100 of these.
No, I
too.
don't. Well, if I'm understanding Shanti's question right, I don't know that you can. Well, actually, I can think of some ways you might be able to solve it, but they're incredibly complex. I think the short answer to Shanti's question is you can't. You would need to push all the data operations to the end so they don't happen unless the person finishes. I can think of really complicated ways to try to like sort of insert the record but kill it later if they don't do something else later. But I don't think that's what Shanti's asking for because that would be horrible.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
I
you
agree
got
with that.
you got my point, right? But the thing is, I could not do all the transactions at the end because that flow is very huge,
Sure.
and it's looking at the initially created opportunity records and then creating work orders, and then it's doing lot of things.
So can I ask why they're closing the modal? And are they doing so for a legitimate reason, like they think they don't want to
Yeah, they change their mind and they just close it abruptly. They don't know, like the users don't know, like if they close it, they think like it doesn't create the opportunity. But in the background, it already creates the opportunity. But what is happening is I am associating that opportunity with a project, and that's not happening. And so the opportunity is getting created without a project. And that's the issue. Uh, and without the opportunity being assigned, they cannot invoice that opportunity. That's the background story of it, but I don't know how to I mean, other than educating the user not to close the model, how can we do that?
I mean, yes, educating the users, I would say, is step one, but I do not believe that if you put instructions on the screen that people read them.
Yep.
So, I mean, I
It would be it would be
Yeah.
nice, like I don't know if that can be raised as a suggestion, but if once the user closes the model, there should be another prompt saying that are you do you want to,
Are you sure?
yeah, are you
Yeah.
sure? Yes, no.
Yeah,
And if
but
they
there's
click
not.
yes,
And
and if
there's
they click
no error
yeah,
log, there's no orphan log, there's
There's
no
nothing.
yeah,
Yeah.
No, I
You
mean,
could
like building on what Michael was saying, the solutions I've seen for trying to deal with avoiding orphan data like that are finding ways to move when the final saves happen, either all the way to the end if you can, and sometimes you can often trigger another async process to do the actual work, so you get additional transaction capacity to move it to an async subflow to do the actual work in the end. The other thing I've seen people do is is similar to some of the bulk data loading processes where you have a staging object and you just put all the answers to the questions in a staging object. And that then becomes the thing that when you get to the end, you pick that up, do all the work in it. But then you also need to process, a scheduled flow that runs once a week to wipe out all the orphaned staging objects. But that can be a little easier to implement than the keeping it all in variables until the very end.
I was gonna say it's not 100% obvious in the ScreenFlow interface, but if you made steps where they were clicking a button that said save, that might clue them in that like you're taking a step now, and if you close, you've done something, just like they would in the UI.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I'm with Aaron. It's going to be hard to truly back out
Yeah.
if they really abandon it.
I mean, I was going to offer, there's a couple things you can do as far as like, so in my experience, not this example, but like usually extensive flows are the ones that get forgotten. So breaking up the process, requiring, it might make more steps, but it's more valid to be able to say, add a couple fields, commit, and then like, oh, now I have to, like almost like an approval workflow or an orchestration so that everything gets done and closed and there's less likelihood of bailing out. I know there's a couple tricks with like paused flow elements and subflows that can kind of trick it, but it's still a closed flow is still a closed flow, not an ended flow. You still have that failure. Maybe there's an opportunity here to start using like events so that the flow is a shorter flow that asks all the questions, drives a bunch of stuff into an event that then does the processing after the flow is closed, so it doesn't seem like such a long process. I've seen people put going back to like you can't teach people to be good at their job, but like big banners on the screen are like, if you don't complete this, it won't save. Like it's kind of on them to read that.
I would say the flip side of that too is you can have screens in your flow that keep showing them like, you just did this. You just did the next thing.
Yeah. Or even a path of like, there's 10 steps to this and you're on step 3, right?
Yeah, I get it.
I mean, you're still trying to stupid proof it. You need your users to be good users, but
easy.
No, I mean, not that they're stupid, but
I know
stupid proofing is an important piece of like software development, right?
Ease of use, yes.
Covering all scenarios.
Yeah. Speaking of the guy who can't figure out how to start a Zoom call, making it stupid proof, right?
Oh my goodness. That was not a small question, Shanti. Do you feel like you have some information to take back with you and work on that?
Yep. I have the info. Maybe the screen steps would be a better idea, I'm thinking. Yeah, maybe. I'll try to see if I can incorporate that. But thank you for all the ideas.
Yeah. Please come back and let us know how that goes.
Yep.
I'm going to say something that you don't normally hear from me either, which is if the process is complex enough that it requires multiple mid-flow saves and orchestrations, and it could be an indicator that it requires code and some visual force or a lightning component or something. I hate that option, but like if you can't fix the process and you can't train up the users, then you have to make the platform smarter, and sometimes that requires a new solution.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to kind of jump in and ask about is do you really want to, I don't know what, we don't know what you don't know, but take a look at that entire process and map it out with milestones and checkpoints and see like, why are people bailing? People are bailing because they decided not to do this thing. Well, why did they decide they wanted to do it, then they didn't want to do it? And just look at what are we asking? Are we asking too much at this one particular thing? Can we break it down into smaller pieces?
That's where that
Are these all these little pieces that need to do? And then that'll help you with either your milestone markers or just saying, we can do this and save it. And then if I find these files are orphaned, I can have a system that just gets rid of those. But if I just inherited this huge flow that somebody wanted to make it do everything, and maybe I need to break that down so that my users understand what's happening better and so that they will complete the process. And you may find when it's such a pain in the butt to do, but it can be so helpful to just reimagine some of these processes that you've either inherited or that have been in place for such a long time that people forget why they were put in place in the first place.
Okay.
I would
Thank you.
also pile on to what Michael was saying is you don't necessarily need to build it out before you get feedback. There's nothing wrong with having a low fidelity prototype and soliciting feedback from your end users on adjustments to your screen flows to see if that would improve and address some of the challenges that you're facing.
Mhm.
Right. So just take it as a usability experiment, research activity before investing the time to actually implement and then learn once you deploy your flow that it doesn't actually address the issues. Do a usability test with a focus group and see how they respond. And if they can give you additional things. Oh, 2-minute warning. Okay, I'm being hooked. Bye.
Right.
Start playing the music.
That was
Yep.
for the whole call, not for you, Anne. It was just a reminder. We I appreciate all the input. You guys are
Yeah,
great.
thank you. Thank you so much.
You
Yeah.
bet.
Yeah, that was a good one. Sleeper on us, like got us all riled up. That was great. So if you all have, smooth seas ahead, I'm so excited for you. If you've got big challenges up ahead, that's exciting too. Let us know what's going on with stuff, and we'll see you is it 2 weeks? We're in 2 weeks.
No.
Yes. No.
3 weeks.
Yes, 2 weeks.
8 weeks. What? Like
2 weeks.
2 weeks will be the 4th. Yep,
The 4th.
we'll be on.
September
Allison, you had
4th.
your hand up earlier. If you want to put something in the success, we can all respond, or we'll just try to get to you next time. Sorry, we ran out of time.
No worries. That was a great question, and mine's just Salesforce adjacent anyway. So anyway, no worries.
Well, we can always think about it and then come back in a couple weeks.
Here's my quick question for you. Anybody have any knowledge of Zoho?
I've used it once and I didn't like it.
I was like, aren't they a competitor of Salesforce?
Yes, they are.
It's a CRM.
Yeah,
that's all I got.
Allegedly. I'll use that word.
We have totally unraveled.
I was gonna say my experience was not a CRM.
Someone turned on the carnival lights. It's time to go home. Everybody, we'll talk to you later. Have a great Friday.
We appreciate you. Have a good week.
Bye.
Bye all.